welcome back to my videos. First of all, will apologize for not being on my schedule for the last 2 weeks. I have, of course, my list of excuses, which number one on the list is time, because I am back to work and I have been able to work out that excuse in my head that I just have not had the time to get back to my videos. But in reality, I know it's my own excuses and my own resistance to keeping this going, because it is hard and it is time consuming, and I don't need to go into the whole trail of why, but I am back and I am going to do my best to commit to my schedule. So today's episode, I would like to talk about one of my favorite tools of my practice, which is cupping. Pretty much all of you know that I am an acupuncturist, so my main tool of my trade is my acupuncture needles, which of course I love to death, but my second favorite tool in my box is cups. This is an example of cups. I have the old glass cups that are how I learned how to do cupping, and then we have the new sort of style of silicone cups, and cups come in all different shapes and sizes, depending on what you're trying to do. So what are cups and what are they used for? So cups are a way to create a negative, like a vacuum on the skin. So the cups are applied to the skin. You use the suction, or you create a vacuum with the glass cup to create negative pressure that pulls the skin up into the cup. The purpose of this is to help clear out stagnation in the tissue. There's a saying in Chinese medicine that where there's pain, there's stagnation. So anytime someone is presenting with a pain complex, you're trying to figure out, all right, there is pain, what is stagnant here? And most often is a stagnation of blood, which then stagnates the flow of energy in the body. So you have a combination of two things stagnant, in addition to then the lymph gets stagnant, and you can feel that in the tissue. So when someone's like, oh, my shoulder is very sore right here, when you go and feel there, you can feel usually a hard, knotted up area. That is stagnation in the muscle tissue. Then the fascia gets all bound around the muscle tissue, and so you get a whole kind of hard mass there. So the goal of cupping is kind of like reverse of massage. You're trying to separate and pull apart the layers of the fascia, the skin, the fascia, and the muscle. Fascia is the connective tissue, is what connects our skin to our muscle, and then within the muscle to the bone, there's connective tissue that surrounds every single part of our body. Fascia gets very bound up and causes adhesions. And so if we have a tight muscle that, if for whatever reason has spasmed up and has gone tight, the connective tissue around it's kind of like a spider web, kind of clamps down on it and creates more of an adhesion, and then the skin is bound to that connective tissue, and so you get this kind of hard mass that's hard to really release, and blood flow through that muscle tissue is now being impeded, so you get pain. So cupping is a way to help separate out these layers so that we can restore the proper blood flow through the tissue, and by doing that, we alleviate the pain. So it is really, really good. I love it when people come in right after some kind of traumatic injury, because there is so much blood stagnation that happens after a trauma, and often the body goes into a pretty clamped down muscle spasm state. So if we can get cups on them pretty quickly, we can get that stagnation to clear out and help restore the proper movement of the muscle. When you have someone with a overworked muscle or overtrained muscle for like athletic reasons, those muscles tend to have a lot of stagnation and metabolic waste stored in them, so it's a way to clear that out. And then I also use them a lot for coughs and asthma, so any kind of upper respiratory issue, which is, the talk of the town right now with COVID. But the reason is we are able to apply the cups on the back side of the lungs, so there's an activation point for the lungs on our back, and we apply the cups over that area, and it helps to stimulate lung function and to dilate the bronchioles to help improve lung function, clear out the stagnation that's impeding the flow of the lung energy. So those are kind of the basic uses of cupping. Cupping dates back to ancient Egypt. It has made its way through many, many, many countries and cultures, but it really became a mainstay in the Chinese medical system, dating back to 1500 BC. And has stayed a mainstay in the medical system of Chinese medicine, but it's in other ancient cultural medicines as well. And it's become very mainstream in kind of the physical therapy world and massage world, especially after the Olympics, a couple Olympics ago, when Michael Phelps showed up with all his cupping marks, and everybody's like, "Ooh, what's this guy doing?" So it sort of became a little bit more popularized through that, and people are familiar or have seen people with cupping marks on them. The reason you get the cupping marks is because if there is a bunch of blood stagnation in the tissue, when you put the cups on them, we're breaking up that stagnation and kind of bringing it to the surface so that it can be cleared out. So that's what the dark cupping marks are. There's a couple different ways to apply the cups, which I am going to attempt to demonstrate on myself because I didn't think about having somebody in here for this. But there are, like I said, the suction cups, and then there are these are fire glass cups, so I use fire to apply these. And there's also little tiny baby cups that I use for facial cupping. So these are just, you pop them on the skin and slide them along areas where there's wrinkles. They come in different sizes, but it's just used to plump up the tissue and reduce the appearance of lines and wrinkles. So these are kind of fun. I have them at home to use as well. And I got little baby cups. I got different sizes. So for little kids with coughs, this is a great little tool. You can pop these on their back. They don't even know what's happening. They can be reading a book. So I got little baby guys, and then I have big ones for, big guys with a, big shoulder that you're trying to work on. So depending on the size of the person, I pick which size cup to use. And for older people with maybe thinner skin, I tend to use these silicone cups because you don't get quite as strong of a grippy pressure with them. It's a little less intense. The glass cups, I can create quite a strong vacuum with them, and it can be a little much for an older patient or someone with more delicate skin. So those are my cupping types, and hopefully that explained a little bit about cupping, and I will attempt now to meet you over here and demonstrate the cups on my skin. Okay, see you over there. Alright, here I am trying to try not to be super awkward here and show you how I do cupping. So I am going to use my leg because it's the only part of my body I can really reach without somebody else here to help me. I like to do, if I have somebody coming in with pain, I will do what's called wet cupping, meaning that I apply some kind of lubrication to the skin. So I use a combination of olive oil and coconut oil for my oil base. If I have someone coming in for cupping for any kind of lung issue, cough, asthma type of thing, I will do dry cupping, meaning that there is no oil on the skin. You just pop the cup directly onto the skin. So I'm going to demonstrate what I do for my pain issue people. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of oil, and we'll show you the slide cupping. So there's stationary cupping and slide cupping. Stationary cupping, you just leave the cups in place. In slide cupping, you are moving the cups along the surface of the skin. I prefer slide cupping for any kind of pain issue because what you get out of that is also the benefit. It's like a skin rolling technique. So the skin is rolling under this cup as you slide it, and it really, really, really helps break up that adhesion in the tissue the more that you get the sliding back and forth. So I will show you show you that with my fire cups and my silicone cups. So first, the silicone cups. I have a large one, small one, and like I said, the baby ones for the face. All you do is squeeze it and pop it on. And then if you want to slide it around, you can slide it around. My quads are really sore, so that really hurts. It hurts, but it kind of feels good, like massage. So that's slide cupping with silicone cups. Again, a little baby cup for smaller areas like a knee. You just pop it on there, slide it back and forth, get that attachment. And there. And so you can see it gets a little red, but it's not a deep discoloration of any sort. Okay, so those are the silicone cups. And now for my favorite version is the glass cups with the fire cups. So first of all, I have cotton ball with alcohol on it. And get that going. Nice flame here. The oil's on my skin still. I take the cup, create the vacuum, pop it on. And now we have a pretty good suction going. You can see the skin is pulled up into the cup, and then we can slide it along. Much tighter grip with these. So sore. I don't know, did you guys work out this week? 'Cause the gyms are open. I did, and it's like, it's so freaking painful. But it feels so good. So when you have that like soreness in your muscle after working out and you just feel like you want to massage that out and clear that out, this feels so good for that, to clear that out. So that is slide cupping with fire, cupping with silicone cups, and all of the uses of it. I hope that was interesting of some sort and informative, and if you have any questions about cupping or would like to have it done on yourself, just send me a message below and we will get you in here. Thank you guys for continuing to encourage me to do this. It is definitely pushing me outside of my comfort zone every time I sit in front of this camera and try to feel normal about doing it. So thank you for encouraging me. I will just keep trying to get better. See you on the next one. So super quick postscript to say that after I did that cupping on my quads and my legs are super sore from lifting the other day, I had to go back to my office and do the other leg because my right leg felt so much better than my left. I had like that muscle soreness after working out. It was like completely cleared it out. I've never actually cupped myself in that situation to realize how well it works for that. So post-workout recovery, muscle recovery, it works really well apparently. So I just had to add that in.